Okay, what is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, and welcome. How is everyone? What's up? Happy, salty, multiplayer Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. That is correct. If you're not aware, we're about to begin a whole day of fun online multiplayer action. It's going to be good. If you weren't here for 2 weeks ago when I did this last, right before my time off, it was a pretty good and successful session of gameplay. First of all, I actually did way better in Call of Duty than I expected myself to. Curious to see how I do today, if I can keep that up or whatever, but I did really good for the most part, except for a few matches where I really blew. And then later tonight, we're going to have Star Wars Battlefront 2, and that's going to be fun because they updated the game this week. They actually apparently rebalanced the game. There's some new skins for heroes, and they made a new jetpacks. Jetpack, like everyone has a jetpack mode. I don't even know what it's called, but everyone's gonna be flying around doing aerial kills and stuff. So it's gonna be pretty crazy, in that regard. And I'm pretty excited to see how today goes. Like I said last time, that we did this, it was pretty fun. Okay. It was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting, pretty exciting. And I think today's going to be more of the same. Now, keep in mind, folks, since today is a day where it's not serious gameplay. This is not super serious narrative gameplay for an ongoing playthrough on YouTube or anything like that. It's pretty much just a fun, casual day of me messing around in multiplayer games. We will have the leaderboard up today, which means those who cheer, sub, and tip will be getting some featured attention. The top cheer, top tip of the day will be showing up on the leaderboard. And in addition to that, we'll have a running total tally of subs. So hopefully we can get some good positive traction there, being that we are near the end of the month. If you guys aren't aware, today is Saturday the 24th of February, meaning we've only got 4.5 days left in the month of February, folks. And, I mean, it's a good thing. The good news is, folks, overall in February, it was a good month. I think people were very positive. Attendance was up on streams. That was great. Cheers, tips were pretty good. Subs were good. It's just that subs weren't as crazy abundant as they were last month. But they were still damned pretty good. We're in the last few days of the month here. And I'm still got over 450 subs. That's pretty tremendous, okay? So don't let it get you down for the fact that, oh man, Phil had goals that he wanted to be like 550 or 600 subs this month. And the fact that we're not there, it's not a bad thing. A channel like mine where I never was basing anything off of subscriptions until last month, for it to still be maintaining the amount of subs that it has is pretty damn cool. And it's still a positive thing. I see a lot of people are getting disheartened. Oh, the subs are down. There's no reason to be disheartened. There's a lot of misinformation, too. Oh, well, no one's cheering and tipping. That's completely false. It's been pretty good in that regard. People have been very supportive. And I just want to say thank you to anyone who did cheer, sub, or tip in the month of February so far. It's been pretty good. And we just got to keep it going. We got to keep that positivity going. Like I said, hopefully trying to keep the momentum going this year. So that Twitch can become my main source of income while I don't have to worry about, garbage like YouTube ad revenue changing or YouTube, demonetizing videos and crap like that. And the bottom line also, when you really think about it, is there was nothing really going on in the realm of new games in February. I mean, we had UFC 3, which was a non-event. We had Shadow of the Colossus Remake, which was really a non-event, right? When I came back from break, we had Secret of Mana, which, let's face it, it's a non-event. I wasn't interested in the one release this month that, that was kind of a new release, an indie game, Kingdom Come or whatever it's called. I don't even know. It was a pretty dead month overall for gaming. There really was not a hell of a lot going on. March is going to be very different. If you guys aren't aware, just in March, we've got the remaster, re-release of Burnout Paradise, which I never played, so I'll probably be checking that out. We've got the release of Sea of Thieves, the release of Ni no Kuni 2, the release of the co-op game A Way Out, and at the end of the month, Far Cry 5. And that's just half of the month. We've also got another half of the month where I can just do whatever I want. So we've got way more going on in the month of March than we had in the month of February, all right? So the fact that this was pretty much a dead month for gaming and I was kind of doing downtime stuff, juggling, different things during the month, is a pretty tremendous thing that I have the amount of support that I have. So I just want to say thank you guys again for your ongoing support. The fact that you show up every day, regardless of what I'm playing. You hang out, you have a good time. That's what it's all about. Okay? So thank you for that. Thank you very much. So, what do I have to talk about? How's stuff going? Stuff's going pretty good. My throat actually has been feeling a lot better. 2 days ago it felt terrible. It's progressively feeling better and better every day. I've been using the humidifier, helping my throat. I've been using this throat coat tea, so that's helping. And I think within the next few days, as long as nothing crazy happens, I think that my throat should be feeling a lot better, which is good, because I'm going to be doing a ton of streaming coming up. Just to give you guys a little preview here. So today, Call of Duty, World War II, and then Star Wars Battlefront 2. Tomorrow, more San Andreas. And if you guys aren't aware, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, it looks like I'll be starting flight school. Oh, no. Yes, folks, the most dreaded part of all of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the part that everyone is basically very, very afraid of when they play the game. It's incredibly difficult. I can tell you from firsthand experience when I did it in 2012. I remember it took me first of all, it took me like 2 hours of a first session, and then I did an entire day of it. And back then, that was when I was doing like 5-hour sessions of gameplay. It wasn't live streamed, but I was just sitting there recording constantly. And, brother. Oh, brother. It's going to be pretty crazy. I don't know how this is going to go tomorrow. So it's just the start of that tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to even complete flight school tomorrow. The thing is with this playthrough, it's been kind of interesting. It really has. Sometimes things I've been doing in this game have been a lot easier than the first run, yet there have been a few missions that actually have been harder for me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I lucked out in my first run of the game and I beat them quickly. Like, for example, all you had to do was follow the train, CJ. I actually ended up failing that over and over and over, this time around. In my first playthrough, I beat it. I think it was the second try. In particular, the other mission that screwed me over. What was it? God, it was the one I had to do a million times. Oh, the fuel truck mission. I failed that like 10 times. In my first playthrough, apparently I did it on like the first or second shot. So, see what I mean? Like, some things are easier, some things are harder. So, the DSP friend Ludwig in the stream says, set a flight bounty. Yeah, that would be tomorrow's stream. No lie, tomorrow's stream. For those who like to set cheer bounties and stuff, could be a pretty crazy stream for like wagering. Like, I wonder if Phil could beat this in 4 tries. We'll give him this many bits. Or people betting against each other. I bet Phil will take 10 tries to beat this or that. That's going to be a really fun session. Because I have no idea what's going to happen with flight school. Imagine if I ace it all on the first shot and I beat it like super easily. Or imagine the vice versa where I suck or I do even worse. Right? I don't know what's going to happen. We're all kind of, who knows, right? Whew, brother. So we're going to see. We're going to see tomorrow, folks, what happens. And go from there. So let's see what happens, okay? All right, so that's going to be fun. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But that's tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, there will not be a second stream. All right? Because I'm going to be doing the weekend preview. And I got a stack of bills to pay, my month-end stack of bills. And I'm going to be starting work on my taxes, okay? Monday, kind of the same deal. Monday, I'm going to be doing more San Andreas. Will it be more flight school? I guess it depends on how I did on Sunday, okay? Monday night, again, there will not be a second stream on Monday. Reason being, I need to really seriously put time into my taxes and try to get them done. My tax attorney / accountant wants my information by the end of the month. So now is the only time I really have to work on it. So I have to really push, and hopefully by the end of Monday, I'll have all that information done and able to submit to him. Okay. Tuesday is kind of up in the air. I don't want to promise you what I'm going to be doing because it depends on what happened with the taxes and everything. But more than likely Tuesday, maybe even more Grand Theft Auto. And I know that's a lot back to back to back, but we'll see how it goes. All right. But Tuesday will probably be a double stream day. The only reason Tuesday would not be a double stream day is if my taxes really are not done yet, which who knows? We're going to find out. Okay. And then this coming Wednesday, folks, this coming Wednesday is going to be a fundraising event. What is it for? What is it going to be? What are you talking about? Well, first of all, you might have noticed something. I have not played PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, in a while. It's been a couple days ago. It was Thursday night. Didn't play it last night. Not playing it today or tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. That's a long time, almost a week away from PUBG. Okay, fully did this on purpose. Okay, because I wanted to be sure that when I have this event and I play it, people aren't burnt out on the game. All right. So this coming Wednesday, I'm at least going to be doing one major stream, if not an entire day of PUBG. There will be the scoring or the leaderboard for cheer, subs, and tips up on the screen during that day. The major reason I'm doing this is, well, actually, it's twofold. Number one, it's the end of the month. And, you know, I really am not really disappointed or sad, but I'm just a little, I guess I am kind of sad because I really wanted to hit the sub goals for this month. I really wanted to do this cooking show with my girlfriend, Kat. And in fact, she's already going to be starting up some new recipes for us as early as today. And, you know, these are things that I would have liked to maybe film and say, oh, here you go. Here's a new, you know, our new cooking show. But, you know, we're not even close. We're 100 subs away from hitting the sub goal in order to do the cooking show. Okay. So that being said, what I really want to do is try to make a final push for the month to see if we can really get an increase in subs for the end of the month. And that's going to be a major focus of Wednesday's stream. All right. That's number one. Number two, the other big push, all right, is that I'm going to be trying to raise funds for my upcoming, you know, big tax payment that comes due in April. If you guys aren't aware, you know, when you're self-employed, the way it works is you don't have your money taken out of your paycheck every month. It doesn't exist like that. When you're self-employed, what you need to do is every quarter, you're supposed to pay an estimate of what federal taxes you are supposed to be owing to the government, even though there's no way to actually tell because there's no way you can predict what you're going to make. So one quarter I may be real good and I make a lot of money and I underpaid. Then another quarter, oh, well, I didn't make a lot of money, but I overpaid. So that's what happens here with taxes, okay? FYI, from what I'm going to understand, I'm going to owe a lot of money for last year's federal taxes because if you guys remember, back in December, you guys were very generous to me and you helped me out with this state tax situation that I had in January. So I got a big influx of funds in December, but now I owe more federal taxes on those. So I now owe a balance of taxes for 2017. Plus, I now need to make my first tax payment for 2018. All right, all due in the middle of April. So I need to really, you know, hunker down as I've been doing. Hunker down to a lot of streaming, make as much money as I can. But this special stream on Wednesday will be basically, can I raise some funds in order to hopefully alleviate this, you know, pressure that I'm getting? Because in 2 months, I have this big lumps of taxes, all right? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be playing PUBG all day. Maybe I'll mix it up. Maybe I'll do PUBG for the first stream, and then I'll change over to a different multiplayer game for the second stream. But you understand what I'm saying. Wednesday will be a day when the primary focus is just kind of casual multiplayer gameplay and a lot of interaction with you guys to try to raise as much funds as possible. Because you might say, well, I don't understand. Well, if it's the end of February, why is Phil doing this event now? Well, it's very simple, as I've said many times. When it comes to things like subscriptions, okay, I don't get that revenue right away. It takes 2 months for all of that to clear. So anything that you guys do this month in regards to, you know, interactions on Twitch, I don't get that until the middle of April. So it'll be perfect timing because I'll get it in the middle of April when these taxes are due. But at the same time, I need them now. You know what I mean? Like if you contribute in March, that's great. But I won't get that revenue until May when it's too late to help with the taxes. So that's why I need to do something, you know, this week in order for it to help and apply for April. You know, there's a lot of people still don't understand this process, even though I've explained it about 400 times. But it is what it is, I guess. All right. So all that being said, okay, hopefully, this will be a good week. We'll have a lot of fun stuff going on. In addition, you know, I'll be able to raise enough so that I don't have to worry for the next 2 months about how am I going to pay my taxes in April. FYI, tipping, by the way, if you do send me tips on stream, that counts all the way up until basically the day when I have to pay my taxes, because tipping is instant. Anything you guys tip me on a stream, I get right away. There's no 2 month delay like there is with other contributions. So anything you guys wish to tip me, you know, there's a tip section below my stream here. You click on it. It'll let you either do an anonymous tip or do a tip with your name and a message. Anything you do in that regard helps me immediately. And, you know, that's a little bit better of an option. In fact, obviously, I'll be pushing for that in the month of March and April, since that's going to be able to help me. You know, your cheers and subs will be great during those months, but I won't get that until after the taxes are due. So, okay. All right. And don't worry, guys, I'm taking rid of the usual moron trolls who are in the stream chat, who somehow keep getting unbanned. I don't know how, but they're gone now. Fuck these idiots. All right. So, ladies and gents, clearing it out right now, actually. There we go. Oh, look, a bunch of 5 to 10 people we've never seen before who are all trolling at once. Goodbye. Goodbye, morons. Okay. So, that's pretty much it on the agenda. You know, today, all multiplayer fun stuff. Tomorrow and Monday, San Andreas. Tuesday, kind of up in the air. We'll see, but it will be a full day of streaming. Wednesday will be this kind of fundraiser. Oh, one other thing I want to say. This coming Saturday, so a week from today, is my Indies Marathon. And this week, my patrons are voting on what indie games I'll be playing in this marathon. Now, one game that is guaranteed to be played, okay, is called Getting Over It. This weird-ass game of some guy in a barrel with one arm, and he's trying to, like, crawl over shit. Really weird game, but apparently it's pretty popular. People seem to really like it. When it comes to streamers playing it. So that's going to definitely be in there. But then we've got going to have at least another 3 games during that marathon. And I'll obviously let you know more information about that as we approach, as we get closer. Okay? But for now, FYI, there will be voting going on this week in regards to that. All right? So that's coming up. Pretty exciting. Getting Over It in particular. That's going to be a salt mine, as they say. Okay. Popsicolo just said, I forgot to tell you, apparently now there's new sub tiers for years 3 through 8. Wow, really? So apparently people who sub for 3 to 8 years long are going to have a new sub badge for ongoing subscriptions. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it's not possible for anyone to even have that yet. I haven't been live streaming on Twitch for 2 straight years. It's actually going to be this November, where it'll be the 2-year anniversary of my return to Twitch. So that'll be cool. So people will finally be earning their 2-year badges come November. But that's pretty neat. And Popsicolo says he's thinking of maybe redesigning the chat badges. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. You know, maybe that would... again, remotivate some people to sub who haven't if they think the chat badges are cooler or better. Personally, I like the crowns, but I don't know, maybe redesigning them to look a little different. I don't know. I wonder what people would like. What do you guys think in stream chat, you know? Chat about it a little bit. Let's see what people have to say. All right, so there you go, folks. What else? I'm trying to think if I have anything else to talk about before we get to the usual plugs and shout-outs and all of that. I don't particularly think there's much else going on right now. I am looking forward to a multiplayer fun day today and interaction with you guys. You know, last time I did this 2 weeks ago, it was a lot of fun. Because not only was I playing the game and actually having fun doing pretty decently, but then people were, you know, interacting with me a lot on stream chat. So it ended up being a really fun experience. So, okay. What else? I think that's pretty much it. All right, so let's do a brief plugs segment, and then we will go on to shout-outs for those who have cheered, subbed, and tipped here on the pre-stream, because people already have. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be setting up the stream stats for the top cheer and top tip for, you know, people who've done this on pre-stream, and then we'll get started. Sound good? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been very positive. First of all, 2017 was a year of transformation for me. 2018 so far has been a very positive year. People have been supporting me tremendously here on Twitch. You've made Twitch my primary source of income, which is amazing. I don't, you know, the further we push in this direction, and the more that we do this, I don't really have to worry that much about YouTube ad revenue fluctuating, demonetization of ads on YouTube and stuff like that. I can make Twitch my primary source and primary focus, which is what I want. I want to become an interactive and fun, daily, positive Twitch streamer. I don't want to be, you know, a YouTuber whose content has been brushed under the rug because YouTube changed their website 47 times and no algorithms support the kind of stuff that I like to do anymore. All right. So that being said, thank you very much for your support. But if you want to go above and beyond just being a stream watcher or a video viewer, and you want to do other things to maybe support my efforts to continue to do this full time, there are many things that you can do, not the least of which is certainly Patreon. If you check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil, you can contribute via pledges, and your pledges obviously aid in my efforts to continue doing this, like the cost of electricity, the cost of games, the cost of internet, which is pretty exorbitant here for the internet that I get to be able to operate this business, let me tell you. Cost of different equipment and stuff that dies all the time. So your funds on Patreon aid me with all that stuff. But the cool thing about your Patreon pledges is you get stuff back for them, all right? It's a cool way to have control and interactivity over myself and my content. For example, just a few examples of some of the perks you can get if you pledge to my Patreon. Getting text or verbal thank yous in my YouTube videos for your contributions. Being able to nominate and vote on games for ongoing events. Like, for example, right now, patrons are voting on the indie games that will take place in the marathon 1 week from today. Okay, that's pretty cool. You've also got the capability to get your questions answered on my bi-monthly show, Ask the King, or even getting a private Q&A video made just for you, catered to your questions. It can be anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes long. People who get these videos love them, and many people who've done this perk level before have done it multiple times because they like it so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, please take a look at my Patreon. Consider pledging. If you do, thank you very much. Thanks to those who already have been ongoing pledgees. It's one of the best ways that you can get something back for contributing, okay? Number 2, there's my Teespring shop, where you can get some pretty cool Dark Side Phil or DSP themed merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff. And anything that you buy there, I get a pretty significant chunk of revenue from each sale, which is very nice. In addition to that, there's going to be some fun new stuff coming out later this year. I don't want to jump the gun yet, but it is my 10th anniversary on the internet, and you can count much later this year, probably in the fall. There will be a big line of 10th anniversary merch coming out. Pretty sweet. Also, if you do get something from my Teespring shop, first of all, thank you, obviously. But if you do send me a picture of it on social media, at They Call Me DSP on Twitter, I would be more than happy to share, a picture of that on my Twitter with over 25,000 followers. Okay, pretty cool. And then last but not least, folks, obviously, if you're here live on the stream and you want to get a shout out during the stream, get some interactivity, maybe get a question asked, etc. If you either cheer, sub, or tip during the course of my stream, I will give you a verbal shout out. Sounds good? Now, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and click the share button, or if you tip $5 or more, tip $5 or more, excuse me, you'll actually be getting an on-screen thank you pop-up notification. Special shout out to Popsicolo, who recently just designed new ones for bit cheers, as well as subscriptions. Very nice. Thank you very much to Popsicolo for that. I appreciate it. So, really cool. This is a way to be interactive with me during the streams. In particular, since this is a all multiplayer stream, it's not a super serious stream. So, when I get a chance, I will be giving you a shout out. Keep in mind, if I'm in the middle of a heated match, no, I probably won't be able to shout out immediately. But between matches and the like is when I'll be getting caught up on that. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. In addition, I'll be updating the leaderboard for top cheer, top tip, and total subs that we have during the course of the day. So it's another way to visually get recognition. If you are the top cheerer or top tipper for this session, you'll get credit right here on the feed, the live stream. Okay, pretty nice. I'm trying to think. Anything else that I want to cover? Oh, I'll just say this. Guys, please be advised, just because you do cheer, sub, or tip doesn't mean I'm going to read your message. If you leave something nasty or negative, which some people try to do, I'm going to troll tip Phil. No, I'm not going to read every single message, all right? I'm going to be more selective, and it's more subjective on, what's going on. Like I said, especially if I'm getting caught up on them between matches and stuff, no, I don't have an obligation to read every single thing, because some people try to derail stuff with nasty stuff. So there you go. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I think I've covered pretty much everything here. So let's do some shout-outs. Let's get to shout-outs, folks, all right? So let's scroll down here. And first of all, I want to say thank you to a few people who cheered overnight when I wasn't even live streaming, which is very nice of them. We had Infinite55 did a 50-bit cheer. Thank you, Infinite, for the cheer. I appreciate that. We had Mr. Swaggins did a 25-bit cheer, and he actually asked, do you occasionally make egg with the hole in the middle? I have not made egg with the hole in the middle. Shit. I seriously can't remember the last time I made egg with the hole in the middle. That's the God's honest truth. I can't remember the last time I did it. It probably was either relatively close to when I had first moved in here to Washington, maybe like a quick breakfast one day. Or it might have even been when I lived in Connecticut. I haven't done it in that long. I don't remember even buying white bread since I've lived here. That's the actual truth, guys. I don't even remember buying white bread to make it. Pretty crazy, huh? Hold on one second. I just realized my speakers, I left them on. I'm going to turn them off before we even start the stream. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, folks. Turn them down. Very good. If you don't know what egg in the hole in the middle is, so I think sometimes people call it like eggs in a basket. What it is you take a piece of bread and you butter it and you toss it down onto a frying pan and then you crack an egg into the middle of it, okay, and then you fry it. So basically it's like a fried egg inside of a piece of toast that you fry on the frying pan, and then once you're about to finish, you could top it with various things. So people will put a piece of cheese or whatever. I did this for Cooking with the King, like, no lie, like 9 years ago or some crazy shit. And so people still remember it. But I have not done it in a bajillion years, okay? Shout out to Critical for Days, who did a 25-bit cheer. And he says, hey, Phil, even if you're nervous about Patreon and subs, don't worry. You've been in much worse times. You'll get through the bullshit. We are with you no matter what. I know, Critical. Honestly, there's nothing that I can do. I'm going to be nervous no matter what. I mean, the major thing here, I think, is to stay positive and to keep bringing positive gameplay and streams to you guys daily. And I think that just letting you guys know that I do need your support with certain situations and certain things, just like I did at the end of the year last year. I think if I just make you aware of it, I think we're going to be okay. You know, I am nervous because I have no idea how much I'm going to owe in April. I also have no idea what the back taxes are going to be for the state, which those aren't due until supposedly that assessment of my back taxes that I'm going to owe for not paying business taxes since I moved here in 2014 all the way through 2016. Apparently, those are going to be due or start being due April as well. So it's like everything's going to be due in April. Great, right? Everything at once. That sucks. But, you know, not having any idea what these amounts are going to be is very worrying. I mean, what if it's a couple thousand? Okay, I could probably wrangle that up. You know, I've been saving up money. That probably wouldn't be a big deal. What if it's like 10,000? Well, fuck me. Where am I supposed to get a crazy amount of money from, you know? So that's why I'm nervous. It's the uncertainty that really makes me nervous. But we don't know anything yet. I'll find out hopefully soon and have more information. But like I said, right now is the time for me to try to be raising funds, because if I don't do it now, it would be great in March. I finally know what I owe. That's great. But anything that you do besides tipping doesn't even count until May, so it doesn't even help me, right? So that's why I got to try to do some stuff here at the end of the month to help out, okay? All right. All right. I got another idiot troll. Goodbye. I'm really tired of this. But last month, didn't you say you had enough to cover your state taxes? No. Last month, I said I had enough to cover the 2017 state taxes, and that there was still back taxes that were going to be due in the future, but you like to come in here continuously, by the way, on your third clone account, after being banned twice already, and constantly spam the stream chat with shit like that to act like I'm a liar, which I'm not. You're just a moron. So there you go. All right, shout out to Illivisaurus Rex. Says, when you were looking at what college to go to, did you consider going to a state school like UConn? It would have ended up saving you a lot of money compared to going to a private college. Yes, I did. Sadly, state colleges, they're not great. Let's just put it this way. State colleges, if you're going for certain occupations, they can be really good. But when I started college, I was into computer science. That was going to be my major. For example, UConn was terrible at that. If you actually look at their program or whatever, they didn't have a lot of expertise. Their teachers weren't great, you know. Sadly, the college that I chose ended up not being so great either. But the college eventually ended up, it was a really good business school. So it was good because I went into business, and then, of course, I never used that anyway. Basically, it didn't matter what college I went to. It really didn't. I wasn't going to get a job in any kind of field because at the time, unless you were in a really specified field, like a real specific field, you know, engineering, for example, which I would have had to go to school for like 8 years for, you know, the jobs just weren't there. They weren't. No, the business field, almost no one was hiring unless you had experience, which I couldn't do because I wasn't rich, so I couldn't work an unpaid internship during my university days in order to get that experience. Computer science. Like I said, my teacher was terrible, plus the bubble burst. While I was in college, the computer science bubble burst, and so all the jobs had dried up in that sector. There wasn't a lot of computer science jobs out there anymore. So it really didn't matter what I had chosen. I was going to be screwed no matter what. And then it just subsequently, it just ends up that I didn't use my degree for a damn thing. Like all the jobs I've had after that really had nothing to do with my time at college. So, all right. Astro Jet Boy did a 25-bit cheer. Thank you very much. And then he did another one. So I don't know if he had forgotten to ask his question with the first one. But he says, does Cat like the art gallery that is in your upstairs corridor? I also ask every time, but will today be the day you switch from the bar to a new gun? He calls the bar the boring-ass relic. Well, I mean, I don't think I've personally asked her about the art gallery since she first saw it last year, but she definitely liked it when she first saw it last year. So I guess she likes it, but it's not like both of us stand in the hallway staring at the art all day. You know, for me, I've lived with this artwork. I've owned it for the greater part of, 5 to 10 years. Some of this art I've had since like 2011, 2010. So for me, it's certainly nothing new. But it's certainly a nice thing to have. I'm glad that I did take out the art and decorate the house with it. Finally, after living here for, over 3 years, I finally came to my senses and said, what the fuck? I have all this beautiful artwork that I've acquired over the years. Why aren't I displaying it? As for the bar, I don't know. I like the bar. The bar's easy gun to use. Seems to be pretty effective. Every single stream I ask what's a better gun, and everyone disagrees. That's the thing. It would be one thing if, well, Phil, the bar's not good anymore. You should definitely use this gun. It's a better gun. You'll like it better. I never get that feedback. Instead, it's like, well, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this. Already on pre-stream, you should use dual handguns. You should use dual Uzis. You should use a shotgun. You should use this. If there's no consensus, I'm not going to try to totally learn the game for a different gun if there's no consensus on what's actually good in the game. You know what I mean? So I'm just not going to bother. I'm just going to probably stick with what I got. And by the way, I like it. If you didn't notice, last stream, all right, last time, 2 weeks ago, I did really good. Even though people were saying the bar has been nerfed, I was doing good. I was going on kill streaks. I was, flanking the enemies, doing some really good stuff. And it was fun, entertaining, and people liked it. So why change what's working? Oh, this is working really well. Let's completely change the formula and fuck it all up now. I don't think so. All right. Be the Baby Rex cheered and said, I did flight school at the end of your stream last night. If you're not aware, last night I was playing San Andreas. He says, I never found it to be particularly hard. I even got like 7 gold medals on my first tries. Well, here's the thing. I think that if you know what you're doing, flight school is probably a lot easier. Plus, what you guys also have to realize, which I tried to explain 5 years ago, actually 6 years ago, but people didn't seem to want to hear it. Back then, I had my PS2, my original PS2, hooked up to my HD TV, which is a formula for disaster. There is a massive input delay between a PS2 hooked up to an HD TV unless you have some kind of converter, which I didn't have. So you're talking, I probably had, no lie, like a third of a second, if not more, input delay between when I did stuff on the controller and when it went effect in the game. So good luck trying to make adjustments and in air, trying to fly through these rings and then land and everything when everything's delayed, which is like an added difficulty level to the whole thing. Like, it wasn't hard enough, right? But yeah, you know what it is. Some people have a knack for things and some don't. There's some things I do in games that I can do immediately that other people have a ton of difficulty with, and vice versa. There's some things that people can beat quickly that I have a ton of difficulty with. So, in particular, I had a nightmare time with flight school. It starts tomorrow. We'll see in the second run how will flight school go. I guess we're going to find out, folks. Okay. Max Clark did a cheer talking about his submissive bottom boyfriend. Sorry, I'm not going to read your whole cheer. I already told you about this before, Max Clark. You should know better. Okay, there you TacVisor22 did a 45-bit cheer. By the way, I believe you are the cheerleader so far today, TacVisor. Thank you for that. He says, "Hi, as someone who's been watching your videos for a few weeks now, I understand you have a long legacy on YouTube. I'm wondering if I can see any interviews with you with more prolific figures like PewDiePie with Conan O'Brien." No. The bottom line is, TacVisor, when I was very popular on YouTube, you're talking the years of 2010 through 2012. Those were my 3 most popular years on YouTube. No one really took YouTube seriously. Like, it wasn't like no one viewed a YouTuber as a celebrity. No one viewed them as being popular, or you know what I mean? But let's also face it, back then, there were really no YouTubers that were as popular as, let's say, PewDiePie became. The top guy on YouTube at that time was Fred. If you're not aware who Fred is, I don't blame you, because he faded into obscurity. Fred was a guy who pretended to be a child. He had a voice changer, okay, that made his voice incredibly high-pitched and incredibly annoying. He pretended to be a kid and basically made kids' content for YouTube. It blew up, all right, tremendously. He ended up being the top YouTuber for about a year. And he made tons of money, and he ended up getting a deal with Nickelodeon. He made several different movies with John Cena in them, the wrestler, and had a television series, apparently. And now, no one even knows where the hell he is anymore. But the bottom line is, he's probably so rich, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He doesn't even have to make content anymore. Who knows, right? PewDiePie was basically the replacement for that. Oh, look, so Fred's gone. The high-pitched, noise-changing child is gone, so the children have to watch something else. So what do? They move on to the high-pitched, screaming, ninny, sissy gamer who screams at every horror game, right? Because he's hilarious, because he's a little wimp, you know, bitch. That's his character on Twitch, to be a pussy, and everyone laughs at him. And then he became white-hot popular because of it, so all these kids moved over to him. The thing is, PewDiePie also had, you know, he appealed to other people because he was kind of a down-to-earth guy. And his content was, you know, he didn't just do that screamy kind of content, even though that's how he originally got popular. He then branched out to do other content that appealed to adults as well. So he not only picked up that fan base from, like, the Fred fan base, but then he also picked up a bunch of adults, too, becoming the most popular YouTuber, okay? So he had a gimmick. It worked, all right? And then, boom, it exploded into just this viral thing. PewDiePie really was the first real YouTuber to get insanely viral popularity to the point where, you know, he became a real-life celebrity. When I did it, it was nothing like that. You know, at my peak, I was getting maybe 10 million views a month at my peak, all right? So you're talking in 1 year, 120 million views. That was like my best year ever, even though I never really maintained that. I think in 1 year I did get like 100 million views, and that was it. And then it kind of tailored off. Never was I to the level where like a TV talk show host would want to talk to me. No one knew who the hell I was. I was never a household name, you know what I mean? PewDiePie is kind of the exception to the rule in that regard, all right? Okay. MP4 Gaming, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, MP4 Gaming, for the sub. I appreciate that. And Lady Morag resubscribed for the 12th month in a row. Really awesome. Thank you, Lady Morag, for the resub and the year of support. You've now earned yourself the Golden Crown with Jewels, the Bejeweled Crown sub badge. Really awesome badge, by the way. It's the best one available so far. And she says, hola to everyone in stream. Hola. Hola to Lady Morag. Hola. Critical for Days did a 25-bit cheer. He says, I see subs are dropping. We lower the goal for less subs. I want to see the cooking show. No, I already did. If you're not aware, Critical for Days, I already did lower the goal this month. There's no way I'm lowering it again. That would be counterproductive, all right? But, you know, what I'm going to do is when March hits, I reassess. So let's see today with this multiplayer session, tomorrow with the flight school stuff with San Andreas, and then with the fundraiser on Wednesday. Let's see how things go. Let's see how we end the month of February. Based off of where we end at the end of February, now I can say, okay, maybe this is more realistic. This is where our subs really are. You know, Christmas is over, the gifting of January is over. Here's where we really are at. Now I can base more realistic goals based around what I know. I didn't know that last month. I had no idea what were realistic sub goals. You know, this is, again, the first year I'm doing it. It's going to be a learning experience, right? So probably next month for March, I'll readjust the goals for a more realistic level. We're going to try to always have growth. So if I end the month at 400 some subs, then probably the goal will be let's do 50 above whatever we ended at, right? That's kind of what I'm going for. Just going for a little bit of growth with each goal. And I think it's realistic that we could do it. It's just that, you know, I need to stick to it, and people need to not get disheartened. I don't think there's any reason to be disheartened, okay? Like I said, February has not been a horrendous, terrible month. It's been the opposite. It's been good. It's been steady. People are cheering, subbing, and tipping. In fact, every day, no lie, folks, every day I'm getting like 10 to 15 subscribers. The thing is, we just had such a crazy influx last month of crazy amount of subs with gifting subs and everything that it was very hard to maintain that and or keep up with that, all right? You know, it is what it is. So let's see what happens, okay? Moving forward, let's see what happens, and we'll go from there, all right? But yes, I will probably have a readjustment of goals for the month of March. Not for the month of February. We're not going to change it last minute, but probably for the month of March, we'll have new levels and stuff established, okay? Sergeant Woomy cheered and said, it's super salty Sander Squid Saturday, hooray! Well, thank you very much to Sergeant Woomy for that cheer. Good to see you, Sergeant Woomy. YOLO Dopper did a cheer and said, if you can't for some reason pay taxes in April, where will you and Cat go? Back to Connecticut? Well, here's the thing. If I can't pay them in April, which I hope by hook or by crook, there's got to be hopefully some way I can try to make up the money to pay these, okay? Well, you know, fundraising streams. If I have to fucking sell shit out of my house, I don't know how that would work, you know? But I got to figure out something. Worst case scenario, if it looks like there's no way I'm going to be able to pay the taxes that I owe for the rest of the year, for example, I'm going to have to put the house on the market, you know? And which I don't want to do. Again, I've worked my ass off to earn this house, to keep this house. My girlfriend's now moved in. We're getting used to it. You know, it's good. We're having a life we're building here together. You know, pretty soon she'll be, you know, getting back to work. We got a few more hoops to jump through there before that can happen. But, you know, we're at a point where we're loving what's going on. And obviously I don't want this to happen. But worst case, having to put the house on the market. Now you're talking months to prepare the house for sale, to have people coming in and looking at it. You know, it's not going to be a quick process. It's not like overnight, oh, God, that's it. No more fill-in in Washington. More than likely, what I would have to do is see houses around here, homes around here, and it's not going to be me buying this time because I don't have the credit to buy. It's probably going to be me trying to rent something, if I even can with the credit that I have, rent something out here. If worst case scenario, yeah, if I can't even qualify to rent something out here because my credit's so bad, then I'm going to have to go back to Connecticut and move into the shitty condo, which I don't want to do. It would be terrible, okay? It would. It would honestly be awful. 2 people living in the small, cramped condo. My business would suffer tremendously. The quality of videos would go way down. The internet would constantly have issues. It would be really bad, okay? I don't even want to think about it. That's like a worst case scenario. What I'm hoping is, you know, maintaining the positivity, keeping a good attitude. You know, you guys have been very supportive and saved my butt before, you know, between all the money I've already raised and saved and everything going on. Hopefully we can get through it and we don't have to worry about it, all right? All right. Shout out to Mr. Papavera, who did a cheer and said, I call it bird's nest. That's one of my favorite things for breakfast. He's talking about egg with the hole in the middle again, by the way. And he says, I use the cutout piece of bread to pan fry that too, but I sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar. So yeah, so you actually make like a little bit of almost like a dessert, right? So your main course is the egg in a basket or whatever you call it. What did you say you call it? You call it the bird's nest. And then when you're done with that, you have a little dessert piece. That's kind of an interesting idea. I actually like that idea. You know, cinnamon sugar is something very tasty for breakfast. And a lot of people have that with, like, you know, French toast or whatever. So, very good. Eternal Napalm did a 300-bit cheer. And Eternal Napalm, you are now the cheerleader for today's stream. Thank you very much. He says, why do people always hate and troll on you? You'd have to ask those people. Because Eternal Napalm, you know, all I can do is speculate. What I know is there's some people that hang on to the past. They hang on to a previous version of me from 5+ years ago who they think was a horrible person, a person that was basically so egocentric, so believing that he was the best shit on the internet, wasn't listening to input from anyone, wasn't listening to criticism, and basically left myself wide open for movements on the internet like this is how they don't play and stuff like that, shit like that. There's other people who literally have just crazy shit that they hate me for. Some of them believe stuff that's not even true. Phil's a racist. Phil's a pedophile. Phil's a thief. Phil's a scammer. Phil's this. Phil's that. And they present this insane evidence that's not evidence at all. They'll just regurgitate memes, or half-truths or things that have been spun to make me look bad that aren't true at all. And when people actually debunk them, like, well, that's not true. Here's what really happened. Oh, they don't want to hear that. Then they'll bring something else up as another excuse, you know. It just seems there's become this mob mentality on the internet that it's in the, if you are someone who is insecure about yourself, who doesn't have anything positive going on for yourself, and you really can't make anything, you know, constructive or creative for yourself, just make videos about me, and at least you'll get some kind of popularity because people watch them and love the drama. The bottom line is I'm not even involved with most of it. There was a time, don't get me wrong, where I would say stupid, ludicrous stuff in videos and on streams. And, you know, I'm the first person to step up and say, yes, I'm a fallible person. I used to make tons of mistakes, stupid shit I used to do all the time. Those days are gone. I have learned, I've matured, I've changed over the years. You know, I'm just here to have fun on stream anymore. I don't want to get involved with any drama. I'm not here to shit on people. I'm not here to argue with people. I'm just here to have a fun time, okay? But there's still people who, like, they don't want to hear that or they don't believe it. You know, just crazy shit in their heads. And they'll believe the dumbest shit. They'll make shit up about me. It's crazy. It does seem that there's a mob mentality of people who like, oh, if you make fun of DSP, now we're part of this clique, this culture, this fringe group of people, and we all friggin', you know, hold hands and sing Kumbaya and circle jerk each other, and we support each other because our one commonality is that we hate DSP. And then when you actually get down to the nuts and bolts of it, of why do they actually hate me, there's no, like, legitimate reason behind any of it. Really. So, you know, again, I guarantee you, if you were to go somewhere and ask a group of 20 people who swear that they hate me, why, they would all regurgitate the same crap, but then when you get down to the individual reasons, they wouldn't even be able to justify it. All they can do is regurgitate the same memes and the same crap. They can't actually justify it because most of the stuff that they hate me for isn't even factually true. There was a kid, last week apparently, on his fighting game stream, said, oh man, Darkside Phil, that guy's a piece of shit. That's the guy that twice at EVO he pulled a knife on someone. And then he got banned permanently from all tournaments. He's a real piece of crap and everyone hates him in the fighting game community. None of that ever happened. But you see what I mean? So now there's people in the fighting game community that actually think that I'm like some scumbag hoodlum who pulls knives on people. That none of that ever happened ever. It's quite the opposite. There was a couple times when I was confronted at tournaments with violence and I chose not to participate in it. I walked away. It's the complete and polar opposite of what these idiots say. But this is what I mean. This is the mentality of people who don't like me. They have no idea what the fuck they're saying or talking about. They're just fucking stupid. I don't even know what else to say about it. I mean, all right. Chewbacca cheered and said, what are your thoughts on Blanca? Are you going to give him a try for a one-time special stream in Street Fighter V? No. Chewbacca, I don't know how many times I have to personally even say this directly to you. I am not playing Street Fighter V. I don't like Street Fighter V. I'm never playing Street Fighter V. No, 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 no. Okay, well, maybe, no, and... No, I'm not playing Street Fighter V. I hate the game. I'm not wasting my time, and I'm certainly not spending money on a fucking DLC. Get out of here. Shout out to NWO Hollywood Hogan, who just resubbed to the channel for the 8th month in a row. Thank you very much, Hollywood Hogan, for your resub. I appreciate that. Thank you. Olivisaurus Rex did another cheer and said, what was your favorite job before this current one? Was it your job at Everything Yogurt and Salad? I mean, quite honestly, all right? Quite honestly, really, I think the only job that I ever had that I really enjoyed the job was I worked at Circus City. And at that time, I was really into techies kind of stuff. I was into building my own PCs. I was getting into photography. Like, that's one of the reasons why I ended up getting really good digital cameras to film stuff on YouTube. I knew about them. But my time at Circus City, it was more laid back. It wasn't super serious. The money I was making was just to pay for college loans and stuff. It wasn't like, oh my God, you know, I have to make a ton of money here. It was fun. I was friends with some of the people who I worked with. And you know, it was a more laid back time of my life. I actually really enjoyed when I worked at Circus City back in the day. Plus I got to mess, you know, the stuff I sold primarily was stuff I really liked. Computers, video games, cameras. This was shit that I liked. It was like you're selling stuff that you know about and you enjoy, so people could see your passion for it when you're trying to explain to them the technology. That was a good time. Probably that's, my first job was I was at a health food store where we had frozen yogurt and smoothies, and we made fresh salads and stuff like that, panini sandwiches. Did I love the job? No, but as my first job, it was really cool because after a couple of years, I got a lot of responsibility at the job, and it was the first time in my life where I saw that someone basically other than my parents or school teachers or whatever trusted me with responsibility. And because I think that job taught me a lot about being responsible at a job. I didn't love the job, but the job was at least something that I felt proud of. You could come to the store and get a good meal, and I was responsible for the store. You know what I mean? Like, you get a little bit of pride in what you do. Even as stupid as it is, making salads and smoothies for people, right? At least I knew when you came to my store, you were going to get a good meal. So, there you go. Sergeant Woomy cheered and said, Phil, I still buy most of my games physically. Do you think that in 3 years there won't be any physical games anymore? I'm subscribed to the Xbox Game Pass thing, and it's kind of cool. I think there's going to be limited runs on games like vinyl records. Oh, do you think there's going to be limited runs on games like vinyl records and cassette tapes? Well, we're already seeing it. If you're not aware, there have been certain games that have been released recently that don't even have full retail runs. I believe it was actually the Secret of Mana remaster. I believe the Shadow of the Colossus remaster. Like, they're not getting full retail runs. They're only at certain stores. You can only, the stores are only getting a couple copies. And then after that, you got to get them digitally. So we're already seeing it with these new remasters, re-releases and stuff. They're not really getting full retail runs. Are we going to see the end of full retail physical games anytime soon? I would say maybe within the next 10 years. But I personally don't think we're there yet. Like, for example, you remember about 3-4 years ago. All right. The launch of the Xbox One. And at E3, it was the man, the myth, the legend, Don Matrick, who came out and said, man, you don't need physical discs. Everything's on the internet now. And if you don't have good internet, well, who doesn't have good internet? Some guy on a submarine or something? Guy's a complete jackass, which is why he doesn't work for Microsoft or Tenga or Jenga, or whoever the fuck he worked for, Taiga. Some other mobile games company he worked for after Microsoft that he ran into the ground. I don't even know if he has a job anymore. But basically, look at the massive amount of negative slam and publicity and feedback that Microsoft got because they were going to make basically the Xbox One kind of a digital-only console. Yes, you could buy the disc, but the disc means nothing. All the content's digital. You need internet connection to play the games no matter what. And you can't trade in the games, right? So when all that happened, oh my God, the backlash, right? What's going to happen is ultimately stores like GameStop that have primarily, made their living off of used games, they're now going to have to find a new business model. In fact, this has already started happening. If you guys didn't see, just a couple days ago, all right, just a couple days ago, I went to GameStop, and more than half the store was merchandise, T-shirts, collectible figurines, toys, garbage. It's stuff that you went to GameStop. You used to go to GameStop to buy consoles, games, controllers, peripherals. Less than half the store is even that anymore. It's all collectibles because they're not making their profit off of the reselling market anymore because a lot of things are going all digital, okay? Now, listen. There's always going to be that market because there's people who don't have a lot of money, but they're still into gaming. They have to get the cheapest possible version of a game. So are you going to go buy Shadow of War for, still probably $40 new, or are you going to buy it $30 used? If you are on a very strict budget, you're going to buy the $30 used. So there's always going to be that used games market, but I definitely say in the next 10 years, we're going to see a decline of physical releases, especially as publishers are starting to cut corners and try to make much less of a budget for what they want to put into the production of a game. Already, these publishers are trying to rush out games unfinished and finish them digitally. A lot of times you buy the physical copy, you bring it home, that game's not done. That's half the game. Now you have to download a 50 gigabyte patch to actually get the real entirety of the game before you can play it on your console, right? So that being said, it's very different than it used to be where, you get the copy, you go home, that's the game, you play it. It's not even like that anymore. So we're going to get to that point. I do feel we're going to get to that point eventually. We're not there yet. Probably, like I said, within the next decade. That's my guess. Crystal Laser did a 100-bit cheer and said, banana phone. Alrighty then. Thank you, Crystal Laser. Max Clark. Here we go again. Yep. Max Clark. I've had enough. Max Clark is getting banned. Seriously. This guy is an obvious troll. Goodbye, Max Clark. You're saying ridiculous sexual things in the stream chat. You're gone. Dude Weedlel did a 25-bit cheer and said kick V. I have no idea what's going on. How you can have a lisp when you're typing? I mean, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, great. Dude, Mr. Swaggins did a 25-bit cheer. He said, do you think you could start with prop hunt? Maybe 2 or 3 matches just to get a feel for it. Then if you don't like it, you can go back to the other modes. I don't even know if I care about prop hunt. If you guys really want to see me try prop hunt, I'll try, but I don't really care. Like, I like team deathmatch, I like kill confirm, and I like war. These are the 3 modes that work for me. And you guys seem to like to watch me play them. So why do I have to play a new game mode I don't care about? I don't know, man. But if you guys really want to see it, all right, I will give you a chance. I'll try it for a match or 2, and we'll see what it is. If you guys really want to see what it is. I don't even understand what it is. 2-Bar King just did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, 2-Bar King, for the 100-bit cheer. I appreciate it. Rave Comic did a 125-bit cheer and says, honestly, Phil, I just think that these people really hate you, and they hate that you've got a type of success that they feel they could achieve, but they never tried it themselves. They say stupid things like they're better gamers, and they see you fail in montages, and they use that against you. Well, Rave Comic, I definitely agree with some people. There are some of these people who they see me put on a stream, right? And I put on a stream, and people are entertained, and they cheer, sub, and tip, and they watch the videos on YouTube, and they see this, and they get so angry. Because somewhere in their mind, they believe they're better than me. Maybe they're skill-wise, they're better than me. They think they're more entertaining than me. They think they're better people than me. And they can't believe that someone who is not as talented as they feel they are could possibly have any kind of success on the internet. They should be in my place. And if they were, they would do a much better job, right? So that's what it is. It's an element of jealousy for some. Not all of these people, trust me. I know some of them, they just got these wild ideas in their fucking heads. But some of them it is. It's a thing of jealousy, okay? I get that. How many people with Justin Bieber, when he became very popular, said, what the fuck? This kid can't even sing. His music sounds like shit. And this guy's a multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever the fuck he is at this point, for bopping around a stage acting like a fool, and he's a fucking auto-tuned idiot who can't sing to save his life, and look at his popularity, you know. It's kind of the same thing. Now, the difference being, I've been doing this for 10 years, all right? I made these videos starting in 2008, and I did it until early 2011. I didn't make a dime doing it for 2.5 years. I made these videos for the passion of gaming, because I loved it. I loved being a gamer. It was my hobby. I wanted to share that fun and excitement and my passion for what I did with the world. And then, only then, after 2.5 years of hard dedication and work to doing something I never made a dime doing, did the situation kind of present itself where I lost my office job, which had been my focus for employment and income for years. And I was the underdog of YouTube. Phil had never intended to make a dime doing this, and people supported me because they said, man, here's a guy who's down on his luck. It's not fair. He's entertaining. He's funny. He works his butt off at his job and when on his YouTube videos. It's stupid that now he's going to maybe lose his house and stuff. And I became virally popular for 2 years. I was like one of the in guys for Let's Plays and playthroughs on YouTube. Okay? You know, so it's funny because people, oh, well, if I had the talent and I had this, you know, I already have it and I'm better than Phil. Yeah, well, even if that was the case, even if you're better than me at games, which no one really cares about, by the way, no one cares how good you are. It's about how entertaining you are. Even if you think you're funnier than me and you are more entertaining than me and you think you do a better job than me, you don't have 10 years of experience. You don't have a 10-year legacy. You don't have people who've watched me for that long and could attest and say, man, I really love the journey Phil's been on, the evolution of Phil over the years, and I really, you know, I like this guy's content. It's helped me out over the years. I care about this guy. It's different than someone just trying to jump in out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I've said, many times over the years. I do see myself as very lucky, all right? Very, very lucky for what I do. The fact that I'm still popular. If I didn't start when I did, there's no chance in this day and age that I would have ever gotten noticed. There's no chance. If I was just a newcomer trying to start on YouTube right now, no one would care about my videos or my content. It's because I started when I did that now people know who I am and give me a look. If it wasn't for that, I would never get any attention because YouTube completely changed to be this shit-ass toxic website, you know, edited style, scripted comedy, garbage content. It's all about drama and bullshit and toxicity. It's not about putting out quality stuff on YouTube anymore. Quality stuff does not get attention on YouTube. And it's sad. And that's a shame, you know. But, you know, I'm lucky enough to have started 10 years ago. 10-year legacy. That's why I am where I am. In regards, you know what? That may be why some people are angry too. Man, if Phil didn't start 10 years ago, he never would have got any popularity. This is bullshit because I want to start now and I can't get any popularity. Well, you know what? I will be the first person to tell you I feel that I am lucky and I am incredibly grateful that my luck has panned out the way it has, that I'm still to this day able to do this for a job. I'm still pertinent. People still enjoy my content. You know, I don't, yes, was it some of it hard work? Absolutely. And yes, a lot of it is the support of my viewers and fans, but a lot of it has been luck too. Just luck of the timing of the draw, right? All right, War Thunderbox, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, War Thunderbox, for the sub. I appreciate that. Soup GG cheered and said you should consider reselling Supreme clothing. I bought a $148 hoodie and sold it for $300. Just a suggestion. Keep up the good work. That sounds like a terrible idea. First of all, a $148 hoodie. On what planet do you think that either me or my viewer base would want to buy a $148 hoodie? We're not exactly the most, you know, rolling in dough people. Not to say that I don't have some affluent viewers and followers. I'm sure I do. But the common person is not going to drop $148 for a hoodie. You're talking about reselling it for $300. That is pretty insane, and it's something that I am not willing to entertain at this time. But nonetheless, thank you for the cheer. Coral Guy did a 25-bit cheer and says, call me old school, but I like to get physical. Way more than digital. And get my collector's editions, which Sony provides for their games. Xbox, meanwhile, is too busy making every kind of color controller under the sun. There are still people who are very much in the collector's mentality. This is very true. But as you guys may have noticed, collector's editions, even those, right? People willing to shell out extra money for swag, little statues, or added in-game content. Even those are starting to go. What you see now, get the digital deluxe edition for $90 and get additional in-game swag. It's like, so no physical stuff anymore, just in-game content for the extra money, right? Even those, even the collector's editions are going the way of digital. Mugi, M-E-W-G-G-Y, I guess Mugi, did a 100-bit cheer and says, Phil, will you play Parasite Eve 2? I really enjoy your playthroughs of old PS1 games. I never even finished Parasite Eve 1. I certainly don't want to say no, never. I will never, ever play Parasite Eve 2. But right now, it just doesn't seem to be something that I'm interested in, okay? Mr. Swaggins did a cheer, and he's very insulted. We got to listen to this. He says, I told you to stop the Justin Bieber hate. He's changed. We all change. Use somebody else as your example. Mr. Swaggins, if you don't realize it, okay? First of all, I didn't say anything personal against him at all. I said nothing about his personality, his behavior. I'm just talking about the guy and his singing talent when he started and he started to be popular. You know, a lot of people kind of compare his popularity to mine and say he wasn't very good at singing. He wasn't very good at dancing. He just became a viral popular thing on YouTube, and he got popularity for the sake of being popular, and that he shouldn't have had what he deserved. You know, he got too much than he deserved. And a lot of people say the same thing about me. Phil wasn't anything special. He was just some asshole. He came around at the right time. You know, it's just a comparison. I'm not talking shit about Justin Bieber. Relax. Your Justin Bieber fandom is safe. No one's making fun of him, okay? Crystal Laser did a 100-bit cheer and said, okay, more seriously, Phil, what is your favorite genre of video game? What is your favorite series in that genre? I don't have a favorite genre. I can tell you some of my favorite genres. Fighting games, obviously Street Fighter, being Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, my favorite game of all time. Survival horror games, Probably, I would say, a tie between Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Those franchises. FPS games. Call of Duty probably is my overall favorite in that regard, although Battlefield also has been really good over the years. See, I don't have like a favorite genre. Platforming, side-scrolling platforming, definitely Mario and Mega Man would be the two in that regard. There you go. I'm not going to go into more detail than that at this point. YOLO Dopper did a cheer and said, just like Bieber became popular around the same time as you, was there a chance you would have gotten even more popular if you had the right contacts? Absolutely. The thing is, again, back then, on YouTube, it was a very different thing than it is from now. Now, you blow up on YouTube. You get contacted by people who want to sponsor you. Here, sponsor our product. Here, have a free promotional copy of our game. Here, do this. Here, do that. Here, E3 access. People throw shit at you when you get popular on YouTube and or on Twitch now. Back then, it was nothing like that. It was a new thing. People can make money putting out gameplay videos. This is preposterous, right? No one even believed that it could be done. So when I was popular, you know, the years of 2010 to 2012, when I was really popular on YouTube, there were a lot of opportunities. And in fact, I hate to say it, even though Machinima was paying me a lot of money, they really didn't present me with any or many opportunities. The very few ones that I had was that, you know, going to E3 in 2012 and maybe like 1 to 2 game promotion opportunities. That was it. And that was terrible. They should have done a better job. They should have looked at the people who were their biggest guys and said, let's get these guys sponsorships, let's do this, let's do that. They did none of that. But like I've said over the years, Machinima was a company, that was very bipolar. They didn't know what they wanted to do. Did they want to make TV-style episodic series on the internet? Did they want to make YouTube channels of their own that were popular and hire their own staff to put out weekly shows? Did they want to promote partner content and make their partners big? They never knew what they wanted to do. And if you actually look at the history of Machinima, the company's a total mess. Over the years, they've changed their structure over and over. Constant management, staff, in and out the door, constantly. It's a mosh posh piece of garbage. It really is. That company is such a jumbled, disorderly. I couldn't even imagine investing in that company. Like WB bought it a couple years ago. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, because that company is so disorganized that why would you buy a company that has never known what they wanted and has never really excelled at anything? If Machinima had actually focused, there was massive potential for success. But anyway, I digress. Because I was with Machinima, I never really had any contacts or anything in the industry. They never got me free copies of games. It was funny. One year, 2015, they got me a few free copies of games. Okay? And that was it. After that, it all dried up and ended. It was like, what's going on with this company? At one point, they're getting you into events, then they stop. Then you have no contacts anymore to even talk to these fuckers. Then they have an agent who's going to get you free games. That person gets laid off. Like, what is going on, right? I'm sure if I had made a lot more money, okay, if I was making ridiculous amounts of money, what I would have done, I would have eventually hired a management agency or an agent who would have went out there and made deals for me, probably would have done PR for me. I would have been in a lot better position. The bottom line is, though, I never got to that level. I never got to the level where I could hire these kind of people or teams. I never made that much money. The little bit of money that I did make, I used to pay off my existing debt that I had back then, and then to move across the country. All right, and that's it. You know, that was the extent of the riches that I made those 2 years that I was popular on YouTube and made a lot of money. That's where it went. Never made crazy. You know, people are under this crazy impression that I was making like insane amounts of money. It that never happened. Okay. I always was kind of a mid-level to lower-level YouTuber. Even being one of the top gaming YouTubers, at the time that I was popular, the gaming YouTubers weren't making a lot of money. All right. So there you go. That's kind of the deal, is that, yes, if I had better management, if people had handled things differently and got me opportunities, absolutely things would have turned out differently for me. But I always felt like I was a guy that was kind of sitting on an island by myself. I put out my content, it got views, I made money, and that was it. That was the end-all be-all of it. There was no collaborations, no opportunities were really presented to me, none of that. And I was so busy, always constantly just making new content, that I didn't have time to reach out and branch out and look for those things myself. And I never made enough money to hire someone to do that for me, you know? So, what can you do? I don't know. Right? It is what it is. Sergeant Woomy. Did it cheers? Do you think that esports will become mainstream like gaming is now? Do you think it's affecting gaming in general? I believe it has. Every game has a league. It's just cutthroat and not fun anymore. Well, here's the thing. Esports is very, very fringe. Like, yes, esports is popular. Yes, esports is definitely, all right, is definitely in a situation where it's popular with viewership and their sponsorship money. But in the scheme of things, the common gamer has no idea that esports exists. They don't know who any of these people are, and they don't care. The common gamer very much still just wants to buy a console or a gaming PC, play fun games, and maybe talk about it a little bit on the internet with others, sharing that popularity, and that's it. Esports are not mainstream. If anything, maybe the common gamer watches a gaming stream or two here or there of a tournament, but they don't care about being competitive, you know. There's only a few different situations where people are kind of aware of the level of esports. I would say fighting games, in particular Street Fighter. A lot of people who get into Street Fighter, they want to get into the competitive aspect, and then they get into the esports aspect of it. They watch the tournaments, they become stream monsters and the like, right? But that being said, no, I don't think that esports are anywhere near, you know, as big or as popular as they can become. Will that change? Possibly. But it's like you just said, Sergeant, right now it's so cutthroat. It's like these people take it so effing seriously. Like your whole life has to be inundated, all right, with gaming of the same type, playing the same game constantly, over and over. And you live, breathe these games, whether it's Hearthstone or Call of Duty or Counter-Strike Go or Halo or League of Legends, right? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I could name 20, 30 different competitive games out there that are just so, you know, but this is your whole life, is just being in this bubble about this game. And I think that's what it is that when you have to live your whole life in a bubble, right? When you think of competitive sports, you've got football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. You've got basketball. You've got baseball. You've got American football. And yes, there's other fringe sports, swimming, hockey, you know, there's probably a million. What's that one? Rugby. Oh, God, what's the other one? The one that's really big in Britain and India, but not really anywhere else. God, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it right now. But you see what I mean? Like, you could probably say, okay, there's like 15 big sports that are worldwide big, and you could be into them, and they're competitive, and you can make a living doing them, right? That's it. Cricket, thank you. Hobbs and Robo-Rooter just both said it at the same time. Cricket. That's a big one over there. But outside of that, that's it, right? Think about gaming. Every major game with a competitive aspect is now in esports. Every fighting game, every first-person shooter, every RTS, are all esports. So that's what I mean. You've now diluted the market where there's so much esports that it's very hard. Let's say, for example, who are the top esports players? I don't know. What are you talking about? What genre? Or, well, what are the top sports players? Well, shit, there's LeBron James, there's Tom Brady. You know, see what I mean? If you ask me top sports players, you could probably rattle off 10 to 15 to 20 of the top most popular people. You ask me the top esports guys, fuck if I know. There's too many. It's too diluted of a market, right? So if esports are to end up being more mainstream, they basically would have to find a way to make it more streamlined and to make it less of a niche where, if you're according to esports, you know, this game, and you're in this individual world, there has to be crossover. There has to be some way to make this more mainstream popular because there's too much variety right now, and there's too much for it to be, there's too much chaos in that community. Let's put it that way, right? All right. Alexander Rossi did a cheer. I said, Phil, are you going to prestige when you get level 55? You're really close. I already did. Didn't I prestige once already? I don't really see the point. I mean, maybe I will. I don't know. It's like the last concern I have. And Brickleberry fan says, Phil, you should get that ass banned counter for your gameplay. No. All right, folks. That was a really long pre-stream. We had a lot of cheers and things to address. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Right now, what I'm going to do is create the on-screen stats for top cheer and top tip. and also for the sub count. We'll get that going, and we'll play some Call of Duty. Sounds good? All right, let's do it. Thank you, everybody.